Hi guys, welcome.
Hi.
When you're logging on, remember to let us know where you're watching from. That is helpful. We're excited to have you all here tonight. And if you're in the right place, if you are watching, if you're trying to find the SDSF live broadcast about Camp Sunshine, welcome. Nicole and I are very, very, very excited to bring this one to you tonight because this one's very special to us. It holds a very, very dear place in our heart.
Are people logging on, Michelle?
They are logging on. We're up to 15. This is like the fastest we've got to 15 in forever.
$15, that's fantastic.
We are doing phenomenal. So Nicole, I believe we are already all set to get started. If you are.
Okay. You're watching SDSF Live. We are your hosts, Michelle Grinnell from Michigan and Nicole Shen from Texas. This series is brought to you by the Shwachman-Diamond Syndrome Foundation. The purpose of this series is to educate and empower you in a warm, inviting way. We want this experience to be very interactive and comfortable for you.
So as a reminder, this series is completely public. Please don't share any personal information that you wouldn't share elsewhere and you're not comfortable with sharing. These episodes are being uploaded to YouTube and then hopefully converted into a podcast. This evening, we're speaking with Camp Sunshine's Mike Katz, and if you have been to camp, you know who Mike is. We'll also have another surprise guest later in the show, and you are not going to want to miss him. He's or her, or him, or her. So giving us a slightly different view of camp.
We love, like Michelle was saying, we love Camp Sunshine so much. Camp Sunshine, for those of you who are not familiar, is a family retreat for children with life-threatening illnesses. Emphasis on family. The entire family is invited, which is bananas. It's such a great experience. I've heard many kids, including the siblings of the patient, say they love it more than Disney World, which is really big. The Shwachman-Diamond Syndrome Foundation has been a proud sponsor of SDS Week at Camp for over 10 years. Without further ado, let's bring on tonight's guest. Welcome Mike to our little SDS talk show.
Well, hello. Thank you.
There we go. Mike, we're very, very excited to have you on to share about this magical place. Can you tell us a little about Camp Sunshine for those who are not familiar, who have never been?
Promoting joy.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, Mike. You were muted. Can you start the question over? I'm so sorry.
Sure. You were asking me what Camp Sunshine is, and what we do and what our mission is we provide retreats combining respite, recreation, and support while promoting joy and enabling hope to children with life-threatening illnesses. And the magic of Camp Sunshine, as you're well aware of, is it's the whole family attends, and there is no cost. It is free to all the families that attend.
That's amazing. What is your role at Camp Sunshine, and how long have you been there?
I have been fortunate to be with Camp Sunshine since its inception 35 years ago. We're actually celebrated our 35th anniversary this year, so we're very proud of that. And I am the executive director.
That is phenomenal. So you kind of answered it a little bit already, so I'm wondering if we should just skip, you think, Nicole?
Yeah, skip. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I know that you say that, Mike, that the cost of camp is nothing. So as a family with SDS, we have a typical family of 4, husband and 2 children. So we have no cost to come stay for the week in the amazing, I guess, apartments. I don't know what else you'd call them. They're almost like little houses that you live in for the week, with all the recreational activities. So camp does not pay for people to get to camp, however.
We do not. We'll assist with the transportation once you get into Portland. Portland has the jet port if you fly in. It has the bus station, also at the train station. So we have volunteers that will volunteer their time, and they'll utilize our camp vehicles and pick families up in those locations. And another option is for families to bring their own vehicle, and there's plenty of room here to park as well.
That's what our family has done the last 2 times we've attended camp. We've driven from Michigan, which isn't as awful as it sounds. And what we've done over the years is we've had some different fundraising efforts. In the fall, I have a caramel apple pie fundraiser, and I make a lot. My whole family makes a whole lot of pies in my kitchen. It smells like caramel for days and cinnamon. We have moved 100 flamingos around from lawn to lawn. We've done t-shirt fundraisers. I mean, so there's always ways to fundraise to get your family there. But once you're there, camp is completely cost-free to you.
Correct.
That's amazing. So
I can't hear Mike, but did you want to take over the questions until? Sure.
Yep. So what is how does a typical family qualify for a camp visit? Does our kid need a genetic diagnosis to be accepted to camp?
Well, the first step would be to complete a family application, which you can find on our website. If a family needs some assistance in navigating the application, we have our family coordinator right here on site, and she has a support team that can help the family with that. As far as a diagnosis, I would defer to our medical director on that, but I would imagine that he would consider it eligible if the illness has the same traits and tendencies, for example, for this session, as an SDS diagnosis. Then I would believe that would be considered, but again, I would defer to our medical director on that.
Yes, I think that's a very good option. So who all in the family gets to come to camp? Who can come to camp?
The immediate family comes to camp. So it's when you apply, you put that on your application of everyone in the immediate family. If it happens to be a situation where it's a single parent, or for one reason one parent or guardian cannot attend, you're also allowed to bring a support person along with you. So that's another option.
Perfect. So I'm going to take a break for just a second. I'm going to throw up a poll before you decide to start letting us know really the awesomeness that camp has to offer. So I'm going to. We want to hear from you guys who are watching. We want to hear. Oh, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear this. We want to know, what do you think camp has to offer? If you've been to camp, you can absolutely still answer. If you've never been to camp, these are some of the things that they offer. And as they slowly start to trickle in, it looks like a lot of people think that we do a lot of relaxing. I like to relax. A couple of people think we have some informational panels with the top SDS doctors. And as always, you guys to the side, the part of SDSF Live that Nicole and I really love the most is that this really is for you and about you. So if you have questions for Mike regarding camp, for us regarding camp, as Nicole and I have both been, you just type them right away in the comments that you have on your side, and then they will show up to us. I think we're all here. I think we're back. I think I'm back. Sorry, my computer totally like wigged out for a second. And Nicole, can you hear me? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, is a sweating bullets. So we're still live, so that's good. That's a good start. Oh, Mike's back. That's good. This was really interesting tonight. So I am going to bring Mike back. Sorry about that. Thanks for hanging in, everybody. That was a good job. Everyone did great. No one sweated it out. No one had a panic attack. Okay, Mike, I would love it if you could talk us through some of the things that camp looks like. What does camp look like?
Okay, for someone that's not familiar with camp, we should probably start with the way we break the camp up into age groups. We bring in probably about 100 volunteers each camp session, and then we break the children into age-appropriate groups for our nursery, our tot-lot, which is for our 3 to 5 year olds. We have our 6 to 8 group, our 9 to 12 group, teen group, and then we even have our adult group. And each of those groups are ably managed by a number of volunteers that come in. We try to maintain ratios that make sure that the children are well attended to, and we probably have some of the best ratios that you'll find in any camp anywhere. For the nursery, we go 1-to-1. For the tot lot, for every 2 children there's a volunteer, and that's the same ratio for the 6 to 8 year olds, the 9 to 12 year olds. The teens, usually it's anywhere between 4 or 5 teens to a volunteer, and then we also have a couple volunteers that will work with the parents. And what happens is we ask the parents to sign the children into group. So mom and dad know where the children are, and we know where the children are. That's probably the biggest thing about camp, is that we look for the children to be either signed in with their counselors or with mom and dad, because we're set on, as you had mentioned about the campus here, we're set on about 24 acres. So we just want to make sure that we know where everybody is and everybody is safe and having a good time. And while they're signed into those programs, the children are well managed and well cared for by our volunteers and do a number of activities, anything from volleyball to waterfront, where they can take out non-power boats. We have canoes, kayaks, paddle boats, paddle boards. We have a climbing wall. We have a challenge course. There's a 18-hole miniature golf course, frisbee golf, pool. There's just a number of activities that keep the children busy, so that mom and dad or the guardian can participate in. And in this case, with the SDS week, a lot of the informative panels and workshops that take place. So it's an opportunity to free them up a little bit to do that, or to simply also enjoy the campus and relax.
I think that was by far my favorite part about camp. The last couple times we went. Nicole, what was your favorite part about camp?
Just being around so many SDS families. Like, this is something we don't experience because it's such a rare disease. Well, can I give 2 favorite parts? My second favorite part is the date night.
I'll allow it.
Okay. The date night was like a real big surprise to me. It was something like really, really needed for most of us. I like cry every single time I walk into the date night because it's so unbelievably thoughtful to think of for us, and it's really feels like a fancy dinner. It doesn't just feel like, oh, we're just going to throw this together for families. It really does feel like a reprieve, and you reconnect with your spouse or significant other, whatever you need. It feels like a really significant break. I'm looking forward to it.
I do agree. I think that was one of my favorite parts was one of the dinners, because like you had mentioned, it was a lot of times our kids don't get to do some of the normal things that other typical families get to do, and date nights for us are very hard. I know it took you 5 years to trust anyone to sit with your kids, and that's hard. I put together some pictures of some things that are at camp, so if anyone wants to jump in and kind of go into further detail about them, I'll just kind of go through them slowly. My first one that I put up was obviously the semi-mature fancy dinners that Nicole was talking about. Sometimes we take them seriously, sometimes we don't. Like some people who I won't mention that are maybe in the photo. Like Mike had mentioned.
Could I also interject there that it's we kind of refer to Parents' Night. It is similar to date night, but we refer to it as Parents' Night because it's really open to everybody. So if it a single parent happens to come, or a parent with a support person, they should feel equally as comfortable coming to parents' dinner night. It's just really a great gathering for all the parents to kind of just let go for a little bit and have fun. And we bring in karaoke, and they get to be the stars of the evening.
Absolutely, Mike. That's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Is that I know about halfway through we became sort of single parents because we would each, step out to go do things or whatever with other people, and it was very much open and welcome to anyone, whether you're a single parent, whether you're a grandma, whether you're an aunt, whether it was like an adults only party with karaoke that gets a little out of hand sometimes. And then, as Mike said earlier, we have there's a special tot lot where Nathan has been for the last few years that we've went, and I've never felt uncomfortable leaving him. My son has a feeding tube, and he had a one-on-one person there to really make sure that he was safe and in control. I felt like I was still there with him.
My Roman got a one-on-one both times too, and that was a huge game changer for me. That made me feel like he was safe. In that last picture you showed a little parade with the kids. I cried buckets from that as well, because it was just such a normal thing. Like most people send their kid to daycare or pre-K, and we weren't able to. And so just to see him in that little parade, I cry every time.
It's definitely something to the sight to see. Another one of my family's favorite things is when we go play Nukem Ball, which it was really weird the first time someone explained it. You almost have to watch it, understand what's even happening. And then all of a sudden there's just like a volleyball flying at your face, and you don't really know where you're supposed to hit it or who you're supposed to hit it to, which is always a great time. And then I know we also love going up to Nancy's place, and Nancy is actually here. She hopped on in the comments. She said hi. We will have a separate SDSF Live with Nancy up in a couple weeks, and we're very excited for that one because Nancy holds a very special place in our heart. As much fun as camp is, it also brings up a lot of raw emotions and feelings, living the life that we live, and Nancy very expertly handles all of them and has a lot of Kleenex. And then I think I had, this one's always a good one. This one's a great time. So in addition to the parents' night, mature, semi-formal dinner, we have a talent night that we do. And there's so many special, I love all the kids that get up there and they just strut their stuff. We've had basketball. There's been singers. There was a couple of dancers a few years ago. There was basketball, as you can see in the top photo, gymnastics, some dinosaurs.
My favorite was when one of the patients showed her rock collection. That was my favorite.
That was so cool. She was so proud of it.
She was really proud of it. It was unexpected.
I think my kids started collecting rocks because of her. That was really cool.
Roman collects rocks now because of her too.
Keep in mind,
it's a rock party, and then like what was that, Mike?
I said, keep in mind that for our talent show, talent is not a prerequisite. You just have to want to get up on stage and show your stuff.
Based upon previous years, I can absolutely testify that talent is not a prerequisite. I have been on that stage and I have no talent. Like Mike said earlier, I'd like to combine a couple of things he said is that they do split up by age group. So kids are always they really feel welcome where they are and safe. And then there's also a lot of things that happen that are firsts. So my kids had never been to a sleepover camp before. That's just something that we've never even really put in our minds as a thought. And last time we were at camp, Evelyn was in this age bracket where she got to go be to the special sleepover, and she still talks about it, how she remembers going out to the little huts and hanging out. It was really, really cool. And then my last thing that I want to highlight, and this is quite possibly my favorite, is the very special wish vote ceremony. So the wish vote ceremony happens at the end of camp, and when this happens, I don't think there's ever a dry eye around the fountain. I don't think. So all the kids throughout the week go into the art room and they decorate this wish boat, and these wish boats then get launched at the end of the ceremony. And it's just really awesome to see these kids put their wishes into it, and then it's kind of set them free. And I don't know, you can't really put words into what a wish boat ceremony is.
Where's our Kleenex graphic?
Listen, I had so much technical difficulty today anyways. We are lucky we have what we have. We get what we get and we don't throw a fit. So come through. I would love to find it. And I will put all three of us up, maybe.
Okay.
There we are. Look at all of us. It's phenomenal. I don't want to be the big one though. Okay. So the question that came through was, can anyone share their experience about how this is for the siblings of SDS kids? How does camp help the siblings?
Good question.
It's a very good question. I would love anyone else to chime in through the comments too. I think this will be the first camp that Nicole is attending where there is a sibling.
She was in my belly last time.
She was in your belly last time. Can we get Lulu's opinion on what it's like to be a sibling at camp?
Yeah, I'll go ask her real quick. In utero,
Excellent.
on the outside.
For the meantime, I guess I'll give you my kiddo's opinion. Evelyn is the sibling to Nathan. She was 9 at the last camp. She just made that 9 cutoff. She came home, and I think for the first real time, she didn't feel like a sibling. She felt like everyone there belonged just like she did. She wasn't Nathan's sister. She was Evelyn. She got to do the same things. Camp does this really magical thing of putting the same amount of highlight and love into every kid that is there, regardless if they are a sibling, a patient, a cousin, a volunteer. Every as a parent, I felt the same love.
Yeah, every family member is highlighted in they have like dad's groups and mom's groups and sibling groups and teen groups, and every single person that's there feels magical, like seen. Every single person there feels seen.
That's a really good word for it. There's no shadows at camp at all, and it's the best part. So I'm gonna try to put Nancy's comment up because she really hit the nail on the head here. It says siblings get to understand that they're not siblings with SDS, and that they have just as much fun as everyone else, and everyone is equally as important. That she summed it all up. She took all of our words and put them into one thing.
Comments. Thank you, Nancy, for logging on tonight.
You know, she's when we put up the picture of Nancy's place earlier. That's the Nancy of the Nancy's place, the infamous Nancy. So I think it's time. I'm pretty excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. It is time. Mike, thank you for all of your input. I'm just going to drop you down, but don't go anywhere because we have some more questions for you towards the end.
Sure.
So Nicole and I get the pleasure of introducing our next guest. And we could not be more excited to show you who this is finally. He's someone that we all know and love, I think. Part of our camp experience. I don't really know any other introductory words for him. I'm just gonna do it. It's just gonna happen. So we're very pleased to bring you, if I can locate him. There he is.
Hi, Derek.
It is Derek. We are so excited to have Derek on the broadcast with us. if you have been to camp before, you know, Derek, if you saw some of the pictures. Oh, there you are. Somehow you became muted and now you're not. Hi, can you hear us now? So if you saw some of the pictures before, you saw that Derek was in them. He's just so good. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Oh no, like we
Can't hear you.
Can you hear him, Nicole? What is happening? Can we test? Can we hear you now? You're down for a second, but I guess this gives us a little. So Derek is he's one of the many really the most special place that it is. There we go. I think we have him back, maybe.
Hi, everybody.
Maybe.
Awesome. We can hear you.
Yay.
I can hear you too. That's great. I couldn't hear Mike. I could hear you, Derek. Great.
Oh, good. Hi.
Hi, Derek.
How are you?
Good. I'm fangirling. You know that that
Oh my
gif
goodness.
with Jonah, what's his name? You know I'm talking about where he's like this. That's what I feel like right
Oh
now.
my gosh. I'm so excited to be on this right now.
Yeah.
There you go. Now I can hear you, which is an important part, I think.
Derek, can you tell us a little bit about yourself now that we can hear you?
Yeah. So I have been volunteering at camp for about 6 or 7 years. I'm a college student. I live in Massachusetts, and I get to, go up a bunch of times a year, which is really exciting. I love volunteering, and kind of just being a part of Camp Sunshine is really special.
Derek, let's be real. How many weeks do you go to camp a year?
I get to go
Not
a few.
a lot.
I get to go a few, which is awesome. I go a bunch, and it's nice to have the flexibility to go up as much as I do, for sure.
Yeah. Have you scaled back, or are you still going just as much?
Well, I actually just released the 2020 dates, which I'm sure you guys are going to talk about. But I'm hoping to go up quite a few times next year too. So I'm plowing ahead.
That's awesome. What's been your experience with the SDS week? Because you're there a lot. Has the SDS week stood out to you at all? We hear that from volunteers, but we'd love to hear your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. SDS week happens every 2 years, and so I think that kind of when we all do get together, it's just kind of this added feeling of special, of everyone really coming together. And the first time I went to SDS, I was interning at Camp Sunshine, and then I ended up coming back 2 years later, and I got to see everyone, and it was just like a reunion. There were new faces, old faces, everyone coming together. I had never heard of SDS before SDS week, and I'm just really amazed by all the kids that I've met that have SDS and their siblings. It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable community.
That is that is something, because some of the weeks repeat every year, but SDS week is every other year, since it's so rare, and it just doesn't make sense to have it every year. So it is very, very special when we get to reconnect again. I just wanted to share a little bit about another side of volunteering. My mom volunteered last time, and that was really, really special for her to see other families and be around other families and be around other volunteers. Like, she thought, you probably say the same thing. She said she felt like she was going to be there and learn, like help teach other people. And she said, like, she learned so much that week. Like she was just blown away. Like she came back a totally different grandma, or nonna in Italian. She came back a different nonna. So if you have a family member or someone you know that would like to volunteer, we'll post the volunteer applications as well, because it was just such a radical experience for my mom to be around another family, all these other families, and learn how to care for her grandson better.
And you really do. I mean, you get hooked on volunteering. Like the first time I came up, it was a group of coworkers and I that all came up together that just kind of decided, I'd heard about it from someone and decided to go and just fell in love with it. And I've been going ever since. So it's one of those things where once you become a part of the community, you don't ever want to leave. It's an amazing sense of community.
That is a good point, because all the volunteers I've talked to, they can't wait to go back, including my mom. Like she's like, when can I go again?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the best. It really is.
My mom roomed with 3 other ladies that like had the volunteer experience like down pat. She felt like such a rookie. Like they came like totally prepared. They knew all the ropes and everything, what to do. And
it's amazing. That's amazing.
Really cool. Michelle, do you have any questions for Derek? Derek, can you hear Michelle?
I can. Hello.
Okay, you can. Good.
Heard her for a second there, and then I lost her. But.
Okay. We have a lot of technical difficulties today, so sorry.
Oh, I see her now.
The struggle is very real over here. So I'm watching it as a watch party on my over. I can see like things that are, and it's on a different internet connection, so it shouldn't be affecting anything at all. And I can see me on my big laptop. So I'm trying really hard to make my way in permanently, and I don't know if I'm in. Okay, am I in yet? I don't even know. There I am. Am I here?
You're here. You're back.
For real?
For real.
Yeah, for real. That was the most stressful 5 minutes I think I've ever lived in my entire life. And I've lived a lot of things. And that was exhausting. Okay.
I can't hear her.
Now that that's settled. Wait, you can't hear me?
I can hear you, Michelle.
Can you hear? Okay, good.
Okay.
That's I can I'm gonna let you take away all the questions with Derek then, because I think all the technical difficulty that everyone is being so patient through is stemming from my side of things. So Nicole, if I disappear again, just fling it through. It'll be great.
Keep reading then.
you just keep going right ahead, and I'm gonna just take my picture off and my face off, and I'm gonna put up the giveaway picture that you can explain.
This is so generous, this giveaway. So Camp Sunshine.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
There, okay.
Yeah, Camp Sunshine is giving away a water bottle and a Camp Sunshine throw this week, which is super exciting. And you can win this week by liking, commenting, sharing, or inviting others. You just really have to interact with this live broadcast, even if it's on replay. So you'll see a blinking red light if it's live. If it's not live and you're watching this on the replay, just type replay or some kind of comment so it refreshes in people's feeds. So this is the giveaway this week, and we choose one every week and then send it out. And we have a giveaway every single week. So this is very generous. It's a twofer. It's a throw and a water bottle.
Yes. Derek, we had a question come in, and I know we can still hear you. SDS is your favorite session, right?
I just see that now, and I want to say, first of all, Nancy spelt my name wrong, which, you know, just had to mention it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love every session. I feel pressured, but you guys know SDS is special, and I love the sense of community. Oh, look at those pictures now.
Like, can I just share a quick volunteer experience that I just thought of?
Absolutely.
Okay. The volunteers always let the families go first to eat. So we eat 3 times a day, and the volunteers always let us go first. Even if they're in line, they have us move along first, and they always move to the back of the line, which is very sweet. So twice now, I think, Derek, the SDS families, like on the last day, we let you guys go first. And it's such a simple gesture, but you guys like think it's so nice. Like, you guys really told us that was really, really special to you guys.
It was, and what I want to say is I don't know how this happened 2 years in a row. Both times, I don't know where I was. I was not in the cafeteria when it happened.
Oh no!
So I saw videos. And
you didn't get to experience it?
Both times. I don't know how I missed it twice, but I did. So I've mentioned. I've seen the videos, and it looked amazing.
Oh, there's video?
There were videos, but it's just so funny that I went 2 for 2. So,
oh no, maybe next
would you like one of us to get you next time before it happens?
I'm just gonna have to be on my A game all week.
Maybe
I think I don't know if you can be any more on your A game than you already are, though.
I don't know. I guess there's no mid-lunch naps this year.
Michelle, do we have a graphic?
Oh, there we go. Oh my God, you heard that. Derek's napping on the job.
Michelle, do we have the graphic of them in the red shirts?
I sure do. It's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite volunteer memories is, so last year the SDSF had t-shirts for sale there, and they just basically talked about the foundation and what we were. And the volunteers all wear yellow shirts all week long. It's kind of how you can spot them about 1,000,000 miles away. And they're always there to help you. But then at the end of camp, nobody knew this was happening.
But we did have like,
all of a sudden, they all come out on stage.
We did have like record sales, it seemed like, for the t-shirts. They were just like flying off the table. And of course, the t-shirts go back to us helping find a cure and, you know, whatnot. So they had all the yellow shirts on, and they got up at the end and took them off like Superman. That's what it looked like. Even my mom was sitting with me, and then she got up and she went on stage with everybody else and took, oh my goodness. Michelle, did you just bawl your eyes out when you saw that? I could not.
Talk about needing a Kleenex. So we were all scrounging through like our medical bags and our purses, and we're like, who has Kleenex? And I remember rolls of toilet paper being passed around at one point. It's one of my favorite camp memories, and I think that's part of the reason why we love camp so much, is because the volunteers really make it what it is. So you'll see the brick below them with the red shirts. The year of 2016, a gaggle of us kind of got together and said we wanted to give back somehow. And so camp has this really cool brick program where you can buy a brick in memory of a loved one or in honor of a loved one. And so this is what we did to show the appreciation to the volunteers of that week.
So
And
just that they were really loved.
It was an incredible feeling on our end. You know, I've been to a lot of sessions, and that really blew me away. And I do want to say about the red shirts, I have to give a shout out to Rebecca from Tot Lot. It was totally her idea.
Oh,
so,
it was
you know,
her idea.
I got to give her credit where credit is due. She pulled it all together and kind of got us all on board. So, if you're listening, Rebecca, that was really wonderful.
We love Rebecca. Rebecca's amazing.
Yeah.
She should be here. She said she was coming tonight because she was Nathan's when we were in the Tot Lot, and so her and I still. That's another thing I love about volunteers is that we all stay in such good communication with each other. Like you guys still follow our families. You still ask how we're doing. You still buy our shirts off of Bonfire. Like you love. It's phenomenal.
It helps
and
so much when we come back to camp that you guys have been following us for the 2 years. So when we come back, you're like, okay, I know this, and this about your kids still. It really helps the experience because you feel like they're genuinely involved with your child or children.
It's so nice on our end too. I mean, I love Facebook and how it keeps us all connected because, you know, you're able to keep up with the groups of what's going on and you know, order the shirts. I have my Super Nathan shirt, rocked it the other day, and you can kind of just keep up with what's going on with everybody in between, you know, when we don't see one another. And I have to say hi to Anthony. He said hi in the comments. Hi, Anthony. Hi, buddy.
Hi, Anthony.
I was just about to say that. I said you have got some serious shout outs going, and so I'm just going to read them right in order that they're coming. I've heard a couple of YOLOs, which is to be expected from the Gregory's. And I put an apostrophe on that because I know they're all yelling it through their house, even though Stephanie's the one commenting.
Right.
I think we got another YOLO from the Del Reys, I think. Obviously, Anthony and James say hello. Stephanie says, we love you, Derek. A few other people up there were, thank you for being a good volunteer. Seriously, when Nicole and I talked about having a surprise guest on for camp, there wasn't even a discussion. It was like, okay, what are you doing?
It's really fun to have surprise.
Like, is he busy? Has anyone contacted him?
It was so nice to be asked. I love it.
And that's not to say that the others see it.
We have
Go ahead.
15 minutes left, Michelle. Do we have one more poll?
We do. We have one more poll that I'm going to put up, and then we'll put both Mike and Derek up because I think they're both going to be really good.
Oh, yeah.
Next set of questions.
Okay.
And so this next poll that we're putting up is we want to know, are you guys ready for camp? Are you excited for camp? What's your experience with camp there? If you have been there, yes, hands up. Please put a heart emoji. If you want to attend, put a thumbs up. If you've been a volunteer, please make the little weird squinty laughy face. And if you have no idea what camp is and you think we're all losing it, put the sad face so we can know how to get in contact with you to give you more information. Oh, this was a really good question up here. I can't wait to answer that. Derek, did you ever answer the question, what was your favorite camp song? It was kind of in the middle of that technical hot mess that it came through.
Favorite camp song? I got to go with the Moose song. It's a classic. If you haven't heard it, we'll do it at SDS this summer.
I don't know the Moose song.
Oh, we'll bring it out for SDS for sure.
Okay.
It's a good one. There's a lot of dancing. I might need your help, Michelle.
Is Mike still?
Oh Lord, should I bring the dinosaurs?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, for sure. All right. Yes, Mike is still here. So I'm going to push Mike up, and then I'm going to push Mike and Derek together. And then Nicole and I will just be the wise council of voices in the background.
Michelle, I'll let you know if I can hear Mike as well.
That's a phenomenal point, Nicole. I'm glad you say that. Okay, here comes Mike, I hope. This has been the most technical difficulty I think we have ever had. Are we both there? Are we both there?
I could see Derek.
you hear us still?
I can't see Mike or hear Mike.
I can hear you guys.
You can't see or hear. Mike is coming. Mike, can you hear or see us? Well, not see us.
Michelle, if you could hear Mike, you could.
Oh, this is so messy.
You could continue with the questions then.
I cannot hear Mike, and I'm unaware if you can hear us.
I can hear you guys.
Well, you get a gold star.
So yeah, right?
But I like gold stars are good. Okay. Unmute Mike. Mike, can you hear us? Okay, we just might need Mike to, because now Mike's totally frozen. Okay, so Derek, we'll just go ahead with the questions with you until we can get Mike back here.
Sounds good.
How do you deal with, how do you manage the clingy kids? I don't know if you've ever been one-on-one or if you're just more of a group volunteer, but do you ever get clingy kids that are really scared to leave their parents?
Yeah, I've been a one-on-one a bunch of times. I've been one at SDS and I've loved it. I really try to, from day one, not only just engage, the child that might be having a tough time separating, but engage the family too and let everybody know, it's okay and it's a comfortable thing because, from our end, we know that for a lot of families that come, this might be the first time that they're really, trusting their child with anyone. So it's something that as a volunteer, we take really seriously of making sure that everyone feels comfortable and feels special. So I've definitely seen, a few different times where kids have been a little anxious, but that we're half a day in on the first day and they're already ready to go. It's like, bye, mom and dad. See you at the end of the week. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Michelle, I could answer the next question while we're waiting on Mike. The next question is, how do you accommodate special dietary needs? I could speak for my own situation that I've seen. Camp is unbelievable with dietary needs. Derek, how many people are at camp? Do you know the estimate, like volunteers and everybody?
Estimate. So we accommodate, around 40 families, and there's probably, I'm really bad at estimating, probably about 100 volunteers, maybe.
Right.
It's a really big crowd.
Big crowd. And so, 40 families, the whole family. So, I don't know how they do it. So I didn't think us going was going to be possible because my son is allergic to a whole lot of things. I just thought we're just that outlying family that can't do it. So I had contacted camp and was like, these are all the things he's allergic to. And they didn't bat an eye on it. They were like, oh, we deal with this every day. Don't worry about it. Not only did they say, don't worry about it, they said, this is what we're making the kids. We're going to recreate recipes based on your child's allergy list so he could eat what everyone else is eating. We came back 2 years later. I started talking to the chef again, and he was like, oh, I remembered Roman loved the chicken, or remembered what he liked. I was like, do you keep notes? He's like, oh, I just remembered. Like, I don't know how they do it. So your child may have some kind of one-off, like my son is allergic to a lot of things, but really try to work with camp, and they're so accommodating for so many different things. So I was just really, really impressed with that. Oh, I also want to mention something. Camp is 100% nut-free, and they announce that usually in the beginning. So nut-free everywhere in the rooms and everything, and just be mindful. Some people bring nuts because I know their kids like peanut butter or something. So just be mindful that another nut allergy child might be in the room right after you, and there might be nut remnant or something. So I know they made an announcement when we come, because I know Roman's allergic. One of his allergies are nuts. So they make an announcement. If you have nuts in your bag from air travel or whatnot, just take them out. Michelle, have you experienced any of the transportation travel options? We usually just drive in, but...
We have not experienced it because, like you, we also drive in. We just drive right on over. I know that there's we were on at a porch party one night, and I think it was us and a family from Colorado, names who I will not mention, and partially because I don't know if they want their information out there. And they had a really early flight. It was at like, oh gosh, it was like 5 a.m. or something. So they left to go pack their bags, and they were like, oh, but don't worry, we're getting picked up and taken to the airport. We just have to put our bags in a car. Like, oh, that's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I know, like Mike said, there's a lot of options for people who come right into Portland.
So the transportation to and from the airport can be accommodated. Michelle, do we have another poll?
I believe I do. No, I don't, because we skipped the one about cost and camp, because Mike just jumped the gun on that for us.
Any comments or questions?
There was a question that came in. It was, oh, what are tips for families that are traveling there for the first time, coming from far away?
This is Derek. Hi, everyone. I can speak from like the camp perspective. I know that camp, we have a family coordinator, and we kind of have like a family support team, and they do a lot of coordinating ahead of time to really make sure that families are super comfortable. So if there are things that Camp Sunshine can do, I know that, folks have come on buses, or folks have, been accommodated with different separate flights, just to really make sure we want to get as many people to camp as we can. And so really Camp Sunshine works hard to try and get folks there best as we can.
If you're coming from far away too, you might want to think about, a lot of us build in time before and after, if you have the time, to make it a little mini vacay for your family, because you may not experience that part of the country very often. So I know Michelle and I aren't from that part of the country, so we kind of build a little time before and after for vacation for our family.
We do. We leave. So camp, we arrive on a Sunday and we go to Friday, and we usually leave Michigan probably 3 or 4 days before that. So we leave on like a Thursday, and we'll stop through New York. We'll go to Niagara Falls. We visit friends on the way in Boston. We stay the night in Boston on Saturday, and then we drive up to camp on Sunday, because it's about a two-hour drive from Boston, if I remember correctly. So that's really fun for us. And then on the way back last time, we went to Diggerland. We took Nathan to Diggerland, which was super fun and a little dramatic, because we had to find a children's hospital that way. But thanks to amazing good contacts through the community, we were totally taken care of.
Another question that came in was, what happens if my SAS child gets sick at camp? So there is an on-site doctor. That made me feel, Roman didn't have anything major, but he fell off a chair or something. And so there's a doctor there. Plus you're there with like all the best SDS doctors. So I just kind of feel a little more comfortable. There's a lot of people there. But there is an on-site doctor, which is great. And so a question we received from our support page was, what doctors will be at camp this next time? And so we could announce that we've been talking to Dr. Shimamura, Dr. Myers, Dr. Bertouche, and Dr. Grover. So if all the details work out, they should be there. We're also in talks with a pulmonologist and at least one liver specialist, and Dr. Alter as well. So there's 4 of the best doctors, rock stars, especially.
I'm attempting to put up the graphic of the doctors sitting, and we'll see if it ever actually makes it up there.
I see it. No, I could see it.
Oh, good. I'm glad someone else can, because I can't. That's good. Yeah, I think that's my favorite part, actually, is that I don't know. I keep saying my favorite part, but then I keep saying there's more favorite parts. So I don't know how to number them chronologically. But I love that there's some doctors like Dr. Grover last time, who we'd never met, and we're having a lot of stomach troubles at the time. And that's a way to get in contact with them and kind of have this mini conversation. There's nothing, diagnosed, there's no vitals taken or anything, but you kind of get these connections with these doctors that you might not normally have. And then as for the camp doctor, I'm hoping it's the same doctor we had last time, because she was amazing. Evelyn got a splinter, and it was the world's scariest thing for her, and that's okay, because it's a real fear, but she handled it with such kindness and like grace. It was, I don't know, it was crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen someone get a splinter out of a kid easier than she did. It was like, it's phenomenal. I'm going to try to put Mike back in because Mike is here. So,
okay, good.
I mean, I also still can't see the doctor's slide. So we'll see how this goes.
And got one.
There we go. Okay. So we can see me, we can hear me. Everything's back to normal a little bit now. I'm just going to put all of us up there and see what happens. I don't even have words for what's happening tonight. I wish I did. Okay, there we are. Are we all here? Mike, can you hear us and see us?
I can hear you now, yes.
No, Nicole, you still can't hear Mike. I see that by the look on your face. That's okay, though. That's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. You can. If we need to talk to Mike, you can talk to Mike.
It's great.
I'll
we
just
have
pretend like I'm hearing him.
one of the good questions that I like that we got from the support group was, what are some things that we need to bring? And honestly, I think we just packed clothes and medicines that we needed. I don't even remember anything else. Maybe some shoes.
Yeah, that's for the most part. You want to possibly bring windbreakers in case there's sleep out and for the evening. You want to bring whatever insect repellent that you think you might like to use in case your child has any allergies. Again, medication you want to remember. For those that are flying in, taking the bus or train, we can generally help with a lot of items that you either make forget or things like linen, things like that. But yeah, you definitely want to bring your shorts, your suntan lotion, ball cap, and your smiles.
Definitely our smiles. If you're over in the comment section, can you just leave us a comment about what your favorite part of camp is? We've talked a lot about what our favorite parts are, but now we would love to hear what your favorite parts are. And then while they're doing that, I'd love to remind everyone again about how we apply for camp. We will put the applications for not only the family application, but also the volunteer application in the links after the broadcast. And if you're applying as a family, please remember that there is a medical section that needs to be approved. So you do need to have, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's primarily the hematologist that we want to answer that. Or a GI, maybe, I think was also acceptable.
Yeah.
Definitely one of those.
GI send in information before.
Yeah. And so there is a form that we just print it out. We bring it right to our GI office, and then our doctor office, and then they kind of hand it back to us, and we send it all in together. And we'll have those links in the description below on the comments.
So we're gonna link the volunteer app and the family app in the links below, comments below.
Correct. We will be putting all of the links, and we will try to make it very clear which one is which. So I'm glad Derek could join us for this very, very, very last question, which I think I'm pretty excited for this very last question. Derek and Mike, Derek first, what is your favorite thing about Camp Sunshine?
Oh, that's tough.
I know. Sorry.
Favorite thing about Camp Sunshine, the sense of community that is there, just community that's built there. Absolutely.
I agree. What about you, Mike?
I would agree with Derek, but on a more simple level, and it's going to sound kind of cliche, but just hearing the laughter and seeing the smiles of especially the children, but also mom and dad. When they come through our 3 front doors, a lot of time you see some very stressed out, tired individuals that are carrying the weight of the world on them. And throughout the week, they get to be with 40 other families that get it and know what's going on. They make their connections both with their families and the volunteers, which brings us to the community that Derek just mentioned. But they seem to leave re-energized, relaxed and ready to face the journey for another year.
That's a really good way to word it. Nicole, what's your favorite part about camp?
Feeling normal for 1 week, feeling 100% normal and recharged. I feel like I'm good for another 2 years until I need to go back. And you just can't wait to see everybody. Nancy Sincato was at SDSF's Family Day. I knew she was going to be there. I saw her kind of in the wings, ready to talk, and I started crying because I was just like so happy to see her. I was so excited, and she said the same thing, that she was tearing up, getting ready to speak in front of us, because everyone's so special to each other there.
Yeah. I think my favorite part about camp is, I don't want to say worry-free, because we naturally worry by nature, but it's not the same worry. It's we feel, all of our kids are included, all of our kids are involved. We get to see people that we talk to sometimes multiple times a week. I talk to Nicole multiple times a week, but I remember running up to her at the last camp and giving her the biggest squishy hug, because it was her face, it was her physical face. And then she was like, "Hey, do you remember I'm pregnant? Please don't knock me over." I'm like, sorry. It was pretty intense, but we get to see the people that we know and love, because this is such a rare disease and it is such a rare community that there's not often many of us near each other, which is another point I'd like to emphasize. Please find people near you and get to know them and lean on them, because camp is every other year, which is great, but you need that in between as well. A couple of the comments that came in about their favorite parts were, there's too many favorites to list, but some of our favorites are just having the ability to be with other SDS families, which is not common. The volunteers are another favorite, the adult dinner, and my boys say everything. And then this is a huge one, seeing Creon enzymes on every dinner table. Yeah. My kids don't ask, oh, wait, he's taking pills too? Oh, like me? Like we do that, or their kids see other kids getting their pokies. It's huge for our kids, who often feel so isolated, to see people who are just like them. I want to remind everyone at this time of our giveaway, we have that amazing blanket and water bottle that is from Camp Sunshine. Thank you, Mike, for figuring that out for us. Oh, Mike, that's better than a graphic I can put up. I would like to let everyone know that I tried to get Mike to give away a yellow door. He was not on board with it. He said, "You cannot take our doors." I settled for a porch chair. He also said no. So I think that a water bottle and blanket is an amazing consolation prize.
I will say, in addition to clothes, medication, shoes, bring a little bit of money, because it's such a magical place. You'll walk away with a lot of merch. Like I see you have a Camp Sunshine mug. I have so much Camp Sunshine merch now, because I just love it. It makes me feel like I'm part of it here. You just want everything to say Camp Sunshine.
Derek, do you have an entire closet full of Camp Sunshine and kids' superhero shirts?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. No,
well, thank you both, Derek and Mike, for being on for this extremely technical, difficult party that we had. It was phenomenal. I think we all rocked through it. I think there's only one really appropriate way to go out of a Camp Sunshine session. And with that being said, Nicole and I thank you for being here. It was a phenomenal evening, one I will not forget anytime soon, and for multiple reasons.
Whose idea was it to have a live talk show, Michelle?
Yours. It was 1,000% yours. I wanted one. I wanted one. Actually, I talked to Derek about this the other day. I said I wanted one. Do you know who wanted 40? Nicole.
She lives
and who's over here
with bad internet. Like, you have to be my co-host. It has to be live. It's so much more fun.
You're like, oh, I love that you're using your phone's hotspot right now to handle all of this, because my real internet can't take it. So, again, thank you for putting up with all of us. I think there's only one true way to go out of a Camp Sunshine session, and have a great night.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.